Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat malam pada semua murid-murid. Okey, so malam ni difahamkan adalah kelas murid tetap 4. Okey, so semua dah ada Wah, dah banyak mesej dah rupanya. Okey, so today I've been informed there's a combination of 3 classes. Okay, so so please update your kehadiran in the live chat here, and if you guys have a problem or whatever, something you want to share, you can write down your problems or your idea in the live chat. Okay, in the live chat section here on my right side here. Okay, so you guys, macam mana I hope you guys dah buat revision untuk the idea of inverse function. Okay, because malam ni kita akan habiskan we will finish this chapter tonight, but I just want to discussing until the self practice 1.10. Okay, so that means 1.9 and 1.10. Okay, sorry, 1.10 and self practice 3. Sorry, it's not self practice 1.10 and intensive practice 1.3. Okay, so but I still have a hutang with you guys. If you still remember 1.9, we still have 2 more questions we need to discuss. Okay, so kita will go through the 1.9 question number 5 and 6, and then we learn how to solve the problem involving the inverse function first. Then we start 1.10 and inverse and the intensive practice. Okay, hi guys. Okay, welcome. Wah, dah ramai Okay, so siapa lagi? Okay, so I hope you guys dah share pada kawan-kawan. Okay, share pada kawan-kawan yang lain. Okay, alright. So now let's do our exercise. Okay, so let me revise back what we learned the last 2 days. I think the last 2 days or the last 3 days. I don't remember. So now we already learned the basic idea about inverse function. What we learned on that day. Number one, we know how to define the inverse, and number two, we learn how to recognize, how to justify, and how to prove the existence of ways. Number one, by using make sure the function is a one-to-one type, or we can use the horizontal line test. Okay, that is number one. Number two, to prove the existence of inverse, we also can apply what we call the composite, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the composite between the two functions. Let's say I have function g and I have function f. If I compose fg and the answer equals to x, or I compose the gf, if the answer also equals to x, that means they are related. That means they are the inverse function exists for that two function given. Or the number three, okay, the third way to find the inverse function is by drawing or sketching the graph, okay, the reflection of the graph function against y equals to x line. Say, okay, that means y equals to x line is your cermin, is your mirror. So that mirror will act as a reflector for the line of the graph function. Okay, so you can draw. All right, sweating is here. Oh, sweating, welcome sweating. Oh, ramai. Right. Okay, so all right, so that will be that's a briefing about the first idea about the inverse function. Now for today is the third objective. If I'm not mistaken, our third objective is to solve the problem involving inverse function. Now before we start that third objective, let's do the number 5 and number 6 for self practice 1.9. Okay, this is the continuous of tajuk for the second objective. Okay, 1.9. Okay, if you look your textbooks, page berapa ni, semua sudah share pada I gambar. Okay, page 27 if I'm not mistaken page 27. So textbooks page 27, number 5 and number 6, we still hutang that things, we still need to discuss. Okay, because the last class we stopped at question number 4. So number 5, given that the coordinates below, okay, lies on the graph of function, okay, so determine okay, the correspond coordinate for the inverse function. This one sangat mudah, okay. So now if you look at question number 5, we got A, B, C, D. Yeah, there's 4 questions there, but it's a very simple, straightforward question, only 1 marks each of the question. Okay, now you see here number 5A, the coordinate given P bracket 2, negative 2 and half. So this one is a normal coordinate on the graph, on the function graph fx. Now if we find the inverse function, the graph of inverse function will have a different coordinates. So what is the correspond to this coordinate if we inverse the function? So let's say we just write the P prime. Okay, the P prime I assume as the point of inverse function. Okay, so on the point P. So to find the coordinate of point P prime, okay, just very easy. This is xy, right? So when we inverse the function, that means we revert back. That means the coordinate of x and y will be terbalik. For P inverse, okay, for the point P inverse, it become half comma negative 2 here. Okay, so just terbalik sahaja. Okay, just terbalik sahaja. Very straightforward. Okay, so that means all the question number 5 A, B, C, D, you just terbalikkan sahaja. It's a very straightforward. Okay, alright. So now that is number 1. Okay, how about B? Let's say do B and we doing B. Q 1 negative 3. Okay, so the Q prime will be negative 3 1. We just terbalikkan the coordinates to find the what we call it, the inverse point. Okay, to find the inverse point. That's all. Okay, so for your information, soal exam maybe like this only, but this is only 1 mark sajalah. Okay, so I skip the number 5. Now look at number 6. Number 6, the most important. Okay, now for number 6. Okay, number 6, the graph is given there. Okay, the graph is given. The function graph is given. Okay, let me draw first. Okay, the graph function is like this. And there's a line of y equals to x. It's a dotted line. Okay. This is fx. Okay, guys. Look at here. Okay. This is the graph of function fx. And this is the line of y equals to x. Inverse function of the graph. Reflect this graph against y equals to x. Okay, so you see here, y equals to x is already given. Okay, y equals to x is already given here. So when we reflect this graph, dia akan jadi macam mana? Okay, very straightforward. Okay, let me label first. This is the coordinates 310. 310 and point AB. That's all, right? And the point A here. The point A is negative 1, 2. Okay, all the point is given here. Point A and it's reflection. Okay, so I told you the graph need to reflect against the line of y equals to x. Sangat mudah. Okay, sangat mudah. Okay, so what will happen? Okay, so look here. This is how we reflect. This is how we draw the graph of reflection. The reflection of the fx here will becoming the red color here. You see, this is a B. Now it become a B prime. This is a P. It become P prime, and this is A. It become A prime. And I told you what happened to their coordinates. Their coordinates will be terbalik, will be inverted direction. This is xy. Then when we reflect, it become yx. Okay, remember that. Always remember that. That's how we find the coordinate for inverse function. Okay, so the coordinate of A is what? So from here, if A is negative 1, 2, so A prime will become 2, negative 1. And P is AB, so P prime will become BA. and that also goes to B prime. If B is 310, B prime will be 10, 3. Okay, very straightforward, sangat mudah, sangat senang. Okay, semudah ABC, right? So A -1, 2. When A reflect, it become 2, -1. Just terbalik the coordinates. This all the point prime here is the point of inverse function of fx here. This is the graph of inverse function, the red color. And all the point also belongs to inverse function coordinates. Okay, that is question number 6. I tak baca soalan, I terus buat je. Okay, so number 6, right, sketch the graph, the inverse function, okay, done. And find the point, okay, and then to show the point that related to A and B. So that here, the point A and the point B, now we already obtained the A prime and B prime, they are correspond. This is a correspond of A, this is correspond of B. Okay, the coordinate of B, this is a correspond. That's why I labeling as prime. Okay, settled. And then there is 6A. For the 6B, find the value A and B if the coordinate that correspond to the y equals to f inverse is 4, 1. Okay, now, if you look at number 6B, they are talking about the point that correspond to f prime. F prime, f inverse. Okay, sorry. The point that correspond to f inverse is 4, 1. That means this one, the p prime here, actually is a 4, 1 coordinates. Okay, so since the p prime is 4, 1, okay, since the p prime is a 4, is the actual point of B. So as we know that the original B will be 1, 4. Okay, very straightforward. So the point of P, therefore the point of P will be 1 and 4. That's all. Okay. Then dia suruh minta cari A and B, right? A and B. So the value of the point of P is 1, 4. That means we can make a conclusion A equals to 1, B equals to 4. Okay, this is the conclusion. We are not talking about coordinates. We are talking about the value of A and B. So just now I just write the coordinate of P, the original, but you need to state which one is A and B. Okay, you need to highlight your A and your B so that you can get the full marks. If you leave your answer until this point, until this equation, so that means you akan rugi 1 marks. Okay, so you must make a conclusion your A and B. All right. Okay, so that's all for exercise 1.9 that I owe you guys. Okay, so that's all for basic and how to prove the existence of inverse function. So today our objective for tonight is number 3, which is to solve the problem involving inverse function. Okay, that will be the end of this chapter. Okay, so look at the 1.10 here. Set practice 1.10. There's a 5 question, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, but before we solve the problem, let's revise back how to solve the problem involving inverse function. Okay, let's say I have a function. Okay, fx equals to 3x tambah 5. Okay, this is my function. Okay, fx equals to 3x plus 5. Now, my question is, find the inverse function of this equation. Okay, how to find the inverse? So, what we need to do is, okay, we must let y equals to 3x plus 5, all right? We must let y as our subject here. So now, after that, we must simplify this equation so that our x become a subject at the end. So we simplify everything here. Since the x is already positive, so y minus 5 equals to 3x, and x equals to y minus 5 over by 3. Therefore, This is how we find the inverse. Okay. Okay, guys. I just throw you an idea so that you can revise back what we already learned in during bulan February, right? We learn this chapter in February, okay? Kita sebenarnya lambat dah, okay? Sebab cuti yang lama ni sebulan dah. Oh, sakit kepala I. Hopefully this week will be the end of MCO. So there's no longer apa tu PKP things lah. I hope. Okay, I can see you guys next week in school. Okay, guys. So this is my equation. How we find the inverse? Very easy. We just let y equals to this makcik here. So this makcik, now our y is a subject. So what we need to do is we need to simplify this makcik so that our x becomes subject. So now when x becomes subject, y minus 5 over by 3. So straight away, just write down here, f inverse x equals to your y must replace by x, you must replace the y with x minus 5 over by 2. This is how you find the inverse. Okay, this is for your revision. Okay, so now let's do 1.10. Okay, so 1.10 got 5 questions. After that is intensive practice 1.3 got 8 questions. Okay, kita nak buat dua malam ni, nak buat dua ni saja. Okay, 1.10 and intensive 1.3. Okay, now 1.10. Number 1. Okay, before that, please let me remind you again, please update your kehadiran here. Okay, and if you guys have a problem, you can write down your problem here on the live chat. If you have an idea also, you can share with us dekat live chat. We will go through to your idea or your problem. Okay, so now 1.10, find the inverse function for the following. That's question number 1. Sangat direct, very direct. Okay, so for number 1, fx equals to 2x minus 5. Okay, so number 1a, we do all 1 to 5. Okay, 1 to 5. So fx equals to 2x minus 5. Okay, this is our soalan here. So we want to find the inverse. First step, we must let y. Okay, let me repeat again. Let y if you want to find the inverse. You let y, or you can do whatever huruf you like. You can put whatever huruf you want here. If you if you tak suka y, you can replace with z. It's up to you. Okay, so y equals to this makcik here, 2x minus 5, right? Okay, so let y, okay, 2x minus 5. So now our job is to make our x become the subject. So y plus 5 equals to 2x. Therefore, x equals to y plus 5 over by 2. Okay, and then we need to rewrite our inverse function where our y we must replace with x. So we're supposed to get this one. Okay, fx equals to this. This is a soalan here. So we must let y equal to this makcik, and we simplify this makcik here. Then we supposed to get x equals to y tambah berapa ni? Okay, y tambah 5 over by 2, and we write down the f inverse x. This y we replace it with x plus 5 over by 2. That's all. Okay, that's how we find the inverse. Alright, that is 1a. How about 1b? Okay, guys, there's a 6 question there. Number 1, a until f. A until f. So I want you to choose. Okay, kalau nak buat semua malasnya. Okay, so you guys can choose. Okay, please choose 2 more questions. Okay, I will do B. Okay, I will do C. So you guys can choose D, E, or F. Can choose 2, and please write down on the live chat which question you like. You want. Okay, 2 more questions for number 1. Either D, E, or F. Choose 2. Okay, let's discuss for number 1C. I skip B. 1C here. So number 1C, fx equals to, I love fraction. That's why I want to discuss C. So 4 over x minus 1. This one. The function equals to a fraction here. So I told you, you want to find the inverse, make sure you let y equal to this makcik here. Okay, so to find the inverse, let y equals to 4 over by x minus 1. Okay, y equals to 4 over x minus 1. Now, what we need to do here, because this is a this is a fraction here. So, we must eliminate the denominator by bringing up the denominator to the left side. Alhamdulillah. So now, when we bring this denominator to the left side, it becomes expansion. So we expand y with the x minus 1. So it becomes xy minus y equals to 4. Okay? When we bring up this thing to the left, it will become expansion y times x, xy, y times negative 1, negative y equals to 4. And after that, you must make sure your x become a subject now. Since this is x here, this is no x in this y. So this y bring to the right side. Move to the right, okay? So xy equals to 4 plus y. And I want my x become a subject. So what we need to do with the y here, this y in front of x here, at the back of x here, we need to pull up to this side. Okay? Tarik dia ke sini. So it become over, right? It become divide. Therefore, your x equals to 4 plus y over by y. Then we can make a conclusion, which is f inverse x equals to 4 plus x over by x. Alright? This is how we find the inverse. So, let me repeat again. This is our soalan. We must let y. And then, look at the equation itself. It is a fraction here. So, over x minus 1, we need to bring to the left side so that it becomes expansion. So, it becomes this one. And then, we need to regroup all the x in one side here. So, there is only one thing, one element here that got x. So, that means xy. So, this minus y doesn't have x. So, that's why I move this value to the right side. So now I just want x as a subject. This y bring up to here, it become over. That means divide. So dapatlah pakcik ini. Pakcik f inverse equals to 4 tambah x over by x. That's all. Okay, now let's look at what your question request. Okay. Semua request f Alright, Nafisa. Okay, Nafisa pun dah, Nafisa mana? I pun tak tahu kelas mana. Tapi tak apa, bagus. Dah join. Okay, so now, right. So, mana ni? Mana ketua MS4C ni? Siapa tu? Siapa tu? Anak van ni. Mana anak van ni? Ada tak dia kat sini? Siap dia kalau tak ada. Okay. So now, right. So, everyone request F, Okay. So, ramai minta F. So, let's do F. Okay. So, sekejap. I ambil air kejap. Okay, guys. Minum dulu, guys. Apa ni? Saya Nafisa, saya Helashika. Okay, good. Najwa pun ada. Okay, Najwa. Okay, salam kat your mom, Najwa. Okay? Cakap kat your mom, kita belajar MX. Mana ni anak ni? Anak siapa? Anak van ni. Ada tak ada ni? Okay, so now, let's do number F, okay? 1F. Okay, now. Oh, voice of democracy here. Okay, good. So now, number 1F, you are given the Fx. So the rest I leave it for you to do yourself. So we do number F here to x minus 3 bahagi dengan 2x minus 1. Okay. So now, this is our soalan here, right? This is our soalan. Fx equals to 2x minus 3 over by 2x minus 1. This is on the top we got x, the bottom also we got x. So if we compare to question C, this one is easiest because there's only one side that have x here, the denominator. But this one, the numerator and denominator, both of them, both sides got x. So be careful, all right? So now we want to find the inverse. So we must let y. So let y equals to 2x minus 3 over by 2x minus 1. As usual, just let y. And because of this is a fraction, this denominator we need to bring to the left side. Okay, so when we bring to the left side, it becomes expansion. So it's supposed to be, when we expand y with the 2x minus 1, it becomes 2xy minus y equals to 2x minus 3. Okay, we're supposed to get this. So 2xy minus y equals to 2x minus 3. Okay, now guys, if you still remember, I told you when we solved the question 1C, I told you you need to regroup all the x in one side and the other than x on the other side. So here, if you look at this equation, 2xy, we got x, so let's leave it like that. But negative y doesn't have x, so this negative y need to pull down, we need to remove that things to here. But this 2x, we got x here, we need to remove to the left. So we regroup all the things, all the x one side and the other things on the other side. So it will come to xy minus x equals to y minus 3 here. Okay, now guys, so 2xy minus 2x equals to y is a negative, move here, it becomes positive, minus 3. Since I told you our objective for inverse is our x must become a subject. You see here, x and x repeated, right? If you still remember when we learned chapter 2 and also chapter, I don't remember, chapter 4, right? Chapter 4 also we learn the repeated things, okay? Because chapter 4 is a cert, okay? Cert, tajuk dia cert. That is our last chapter where before holiday, right? Okay? So now, every huruf or number that repeated, we need to factorize. So these huruf x are repeated. So we need to factorize it so that x can become the subject. So here, what we can do, we just factorize to x. So it becomes 2y minus 2 equals to y minus 3 here. This. Okay, we just factorize x. So a bracket to y minus 2. Close bracket equals to y minus 3. Now we want to find x. So what will happen here is, okay, so x will become y minus 3 over by 2y minus 2. Okay, this is our objective. Our x must become a subject. Therefore, we can make a conclusion, f inverse x equals to all the huruf y replaced with huruf x, so it becomes x minus 3 over by 2x minus 2. Okay, this is the end. F inverse equals to x minus 3 over by 2x minus 2. That's all. Okay, settle for question number 1. Okay, number 1 settle. Alright, so guys, any question you want to ask? Ada soalan ke? Kalau tak ada soalan, we can proceed to number 2. Can? Okay, so apa ni? Teacher, I have a question. Okay, Alicia, what's your question, Alicia? Alia, sorry, Alia, you ada soalan? Okay, please write down your soalan. Okay, kejap Alia. Okay. So, right. So I think she's sleeping. Okay, tak apa. So I hope those yang tak sempat follow the live, replay balik this video, okay, later. Alright. So Alia tak jadi. Okay, Alia. So if you have a problem, please write down your problem in the live chat, okay? Alright. So now look at number 2. Okay, number 2 we do number 2, okay? So given that the f equals to, okay, fx equals to 3 minus x over by 2x. Okay, our first question is to find the F inverse 4. Find this makcik. Find this F inverse 4. This is standard function, fx, normal function. This is F inverse. They are different. But if you still remember last week, when we learned the definition of F inverse of question, find the F inverse 4, the first step, we must let this soalan equals to X. Okay, just let equals to X. Okay, just let equals to X. Now, what we need to do is we need to move the F inverse here to the right side. But 4 remain on the same spot. 4 just remain, but the F inverse move to the right side. What will happen? It will become, okay, it will become 4 equals to Fx. That's why I told you the definition of F inverse, actually, if you look at the buku text, it's a long ayat, right? So I simplify everything so that I call the inverse function means the reversal of function. So that's what I told you. The function can to and fro, okay, to and fro, okay. You can the function f here. This f can go to the right side and can revert back to the left side again. So that's why when f inverse move to the right side, it becomes f normal. When the f normal move to the left side again, it becomes f inverse. That's all. So now fx equals to 4. What is your fx? Here, this is your fx. Cut and paste. So 4 equals to 3 tolak X per 2X. Okay, and then because of over 2X is a denominator, we need to bring to the left side. So it will become expansion like this. Okay, so 4 equals to this makcik here. Makcik 2X di bawah ini, you need to bring to the left side. So it becomes 4 times 2X, it becomes 8X. Equals to 3 minus X. So now regroup all X one side, the number on the other side. So what we happen here is 9X equals to 3 and your X equals to 1 over by 3. 3 over by 9. This is actually 3 over by 9. I simplify that, it becomes 1 over 3. Don't forget to simplify your answer. If you forget to simplify your answer, it will be penalized. You will be penalized. So selalunya SS minus 1. Okay, those yang menanda, dia akan, teachers yang ada experience marking paper, dia akan tulis minus 1. But depends, not necessary ada SS minus 1. Okay, so kalau tak simplify, always lah, boleh kata selalunya SS minus 1. Okay, please be careful. Alright. Okay, Roshini is back. Okay, Roshini, welcome back, Roshini. Okay, so now, that is for number 2A. Now, number 2B, find the value of X, the values. You see there, there's the S, values. Ada S. That means it's possible to have more than one answer. Find the values of X such that the Fx equals to F inverse. What's that? That means we got the Fx, and then we have the F inverse. Both of them are equivalent. So, since the Fx is already given, we need to find the F inverse. How to find the F inverse? Like usual, question number 1 tadi, we must let Y. So, for B, let Y equals to 3 minus X over by 2X. Okay, and then simplify the equation so that it becomes 2xy equals to 3 minus X, and we regroup. Okay. Now, guys, for question B, we need to find the F inverse. Okay, the F inverse, we must let Y go to this makcik here. This makcik came from here, from the information. And then we simplify the denominator by bring this denominator to the left side, it becomes expansion. And what we need to do is we regroup all X in one side. And if you still remember, on the 1C or 1F tadi, I told you, all the repeated huruf, since we want to X become a subject, and X also is a repeated huruf, you need to factorize the X. So, apa berlaku sekarang? Dia akan jadi X 2Y plus, Okay, you factorize x here, you take out x, so it be what left here? 2y plus this x you take out, what is the things left here? 1. Okay, equals to 3. Now I want to find x, so this makcik and x is times. So this whole makcik, if we move to the right side, it will become divide, it will become over. So now therefore your x will equals to 3 over by 2y plus 1. And then we must make a conclusion, f inverse x. This is our f standard, f normal equation. And if you read the soalan saying that f normal and f inverse, they are equivalent each other. So we just write down, we just write the equation, the equivalent things, okay? The equivalent equation. So fx equals to f inverse. So fx is 3 minus x over by 2x equals to 3 over by 2x plus 1. Okay, guys. This is question number 2b. They are asking about fx equals to f inverse. Since the f inverse we already obtained here, then we just write down like this. So the fx equals to the f inverse. Now we want to find x here, so this is a cross product. Okay, cross product. That means it will, this jawapan, this equation will turn becoming a quadratic letter. Okay, so now let's do the quadratic. So when we solve the problem, cross product, oh, habis indah. Okay, so it will be 3 minus x to x plus 1 equals to 3 bracket 2x. All right. We just do a cross product like this, then it will become like this. Okay, now your job, you need to expand. You need to expand both sides, left and right. Expand everything. So when we expand, we're supposed to get, okay, 3 to x is 6x plus 3 minus 2x squared minus x equals to 6x. Okay, and we regroup everything and make sure your x squared is a positive number. So what will happen here, it will become 2x squared. Now x dollar x is a 5x. 5x move to the right, it become minus plus x minus 3 equal to 0. Okay, after we expand everything, we expand left and right. This is the equation that we're supposed to guys to check. And then if my answer is wrong, please remind me on the live chat here. Okay, please remind me. Okay, so we are supposed to get, okay, 2x squared plus x minus 3 equal to 0. So now what we need to do is we need to find the roots of x here. How we find the roots? So you just put your a, b, c into your calculator, then you find the roots. You find the x1 how much, the x2 how much. Okay, now guys, please calculate for me. What's the answer? Okay, when you get the answer, please update your answer in the live chat here. Okay, so there is suppose a 2 bracket and x1, x2. Okay, tell me how much the answer. Okay, this is the way to solve the problem. Okay, the quadratic, and then jump to the conclusion. Use your calculator. You got to answer. Don't forget to write down the 2 bracket in between the equation and the final answer. This one is a very important. Normally what people did is, ramai murid dia terlupa, they forgot to write this thing from the equation, then they jump straight to here. So this part is very important. Please be careful. Okay, guys. Okay, so alright, so what's the answer? Shira. Okay, Shira sudah dapat x1 equals to 1, x2 equals to negative 3 over 2. Syawal, cikgu bukan ke negative 2x squared, negative 2x squared. This one, negative 2x squared. The original is, okay, The original is negative 2x squared, but I move this number to the right side so that it become a positive. Okay, that's the reason. Okay, I really prefer our A, which is x squared, is a positive number. So that means this whole thing I move to the right. That's why they just 0. Okay, guys. So the answer. So the answer for Alia also, Alia get the same answer like Shira. Shia. Is pula. Acha. Okay lah. I pun tak tahu nak sebut macam mana. Equals to 2 and x equals to negative 3 over 2. They are different between, if we compare with the rest. So here, x first is 1, the second x is negative 3 over 2. But Roshini, the voice of democracy, got different answer here. X equals to 2 for the first x. Please double check punya answer. Maybe she's correct. Okay, we don't know. Okay, so now I assume the answer because of most of people got the same thing. Roshini wrong. Okay. Voice of democracy equals to 1. The second x equals to negative 3 over 2. Okay, ataupun negative 1.5. Okay, Suhan, if you want to write down your answer, the final answer in terms of decimal, yes, can. But when you revert it, when you complete the factorization, you cannot write the decimal number inside. You must write the fraction. You must simplify the fraction here. Okay, please be careful. Okay. So x minus 1, 2x plus 3. Okay, that will be the answer. Okay, Farah mana Farah? Farah ada tak kat sini? Farah I tak nampak dia tadi. Okay. So Farah nanti respon Farah. Okay. Jawapan daripada you. You wakil untuk 5N nanti. Okay. So okay. So Roshini kata, oh sorry, I'm wrong. Okay. Alright. So alright, that's number 2. Settled. Now look at number 3. So number 3, okay, we still have time. So number 3, we got hx equals to 4, blah, blah, blah. H inverse equals to blah, blah, blah. Find A and B. Okay. For number 3, is also very straightforward. Okay, for number 3. Number 3, the function hx equals to 4x tambah A. And the h inverse x equals to 2bx. 2bx tambah 5/8. Okay. Alright, so here. This is question number 3. Hx is given, h inverse also given. So now we want to find A and B, right? We want to find A and B. So since this is h inverse, as this is normal h, this is h inverse. So what we need to do is we need to inverse this makcik first. Okay, we inverse this makcik. Alright? So we inverse this makcik, then we get the answer. So that inverse actually equals to this inverse. Alright. So let y as usual, y equals to 4x plus a. Now we want our x become a subject here. So y minus a equals to 4x. Therefore, x equals to y minus a over by 4. So a conclusion, h inverse x actually equals to x minus a over by 4. You see? We got hx, we got h inverse. What we need to do is we inverse the normal h here so that we got this. To get the inverse, as usual, let y equal to this makcik and then x become the subject. So x is a 4x is already positive, so I move the a to the left side, it become minus, and 4 move to the left side, it become over. So we can make a conclusion, the h inverse equals to x minus a over by 4. Now, makcik ini also equivalent to this makcik because this one also h inverse. So what we can do right here is we just put we just write equal here, cut and paste this equation into here. Okay, so it will equals to 2bx plus 5 over 8. Okay, it will become like this. Okay, so now if we compare left and right here side by side, this is a fraction plus fraction. This is what we call simplest fraction. So what we need to do is we need to split this simple fraction so that it become a fraction plus fraction. It become a complex fraction. Senang cerita. Okay, simplest become complex again. So we need to split. So it become x over 4 minus a over by 4 equals to, okay, we just split like this. So x over 4 minus a over 4 equals to 2bx plus 5 over 8. Now, what we can do here is, look at here, we got x here. This is no x at all. This one we got x, but this one is no x here. So we just compare side by side. So this whole thing, okay, we need to find the match. Okay, we need to match the equation. So okay, that means, okay, so what I'm meaning is here, this is what I mean. The thing that I circle here and the thing that I circle on this side, they are both equivalent each other. So that means x over 4 equals to what? X over 4 equals to 2bx. All right. Okay, since x and x repeated, we can cancel the x. So it becomes 1 over 4 equals to 2b. Then b equals to 1 over 8. All right. Very straightforward. Okay. So now you guys see here, x over 4 equals to 2bx. And x here repeated, cancel. So when we cancel x here, what is left? It will left 1 here. The 1 is left here. So don't forget 1. Bukan langsung tak ada ya. Okay. So now 1 over 4 equals to 2b. So we want to find b. We just remove the 2 here. This is done. When we remove 2 to this side, it become over. So 1 over 4 divided by 2, you're supposed to get 1 over 8. Very straightforward. That is your answer for B. Now, how to find A? So, to find A, color apa hitam To find A, okay, A, you see here, negative A over 4 belongs to positive 5 over 8. Okay, so negative A equals to, alright, this one. Negative A over 4 equals to 5 over 8. So I just write down here. So I want to find A. So negative, if I move 4 here, it become times. So 5 over 8. Okay. 5 over 8. And then I times with 4. We're supposed to get 5 over 2. So our A will be negative 5 over 2. Done. Okay. This is our jawapan. Okay, so since negative A equals to 5 over 4, sorry, 5 over 2, so negative move to this side, it become A equals to negative 5 over 2. Settle. Very simple. Okay, very simple question. Alright, guys, that is question number 3. Any problem, guys? Ada soalan nak tanya setakat ini before we proceed to number 4? Okay, so let's read the live chat sini. Okay, cikgu, saya betul tak? What's that? Apa maksud Liliana? Okay, oh maksud dia ni x2 equals to negative 3 over 2. Okay, Liliana, betul. Second answer your answer is correct. x2 equals to negative 3 over 2. Itu soalan yang before soalan before. Okay, apa no apa ni? No ni maksudnya apa ni? Sandra, Syria, okay, Acha ni apa maksud you? There's no problem. Okay, that means we can proceed to number 4, right? So, number 4. Number 4, Find the function f. Oh, okay, number 4. Number 4 is asking they need to find the original f. When the f inverse is given, find the original f again. Now, what we have to do from number 1 until number 3, we find the f inverse from the given f. Now, for number 4, we need to find the original from the given f inverse. That's why I told you. Revise back how we find what is definition of f inverse. F inverse is about reversal function. So if we have F inverse and we want to find the F normal again, we repeat. Okay, inverse the F inverse, then we can find the F normal. Okay, now let me show you. Very easy. Number 4A. Okay, so number 4A, the F inverse given is 6x tambah 7, 6x tambah 7. Alright, this is the F inverse given. Dibagi ini. F songsang, bahasa Melayu kita panggil F songsang. Now kita nak cari, we want to find the F normal, Fx. So I told you, inverse the inverse. So that means we need to let y equals to our inverse function. So we let y, same process like how we find the inverse. So we just reapply balik how we find the inverse. So we just let y equals to our F inverse equation. Cut and paste. And our job, because of let y, our job actually, we want x become a subject, right? So, okay, Alia, yes, Alia, betul. Let y equals to 6x tambah 7. Yes, correct. Betul, Alia. So, what you need to do, Alia, you need to make your x become a subject sekarang. X jadi subject. So, simplify your equation. So, since 6x is already positive, I just move 7 to the left. It become minus, so x equals to 1 minus 7 over by 6, therefore, okay. So, this one. After I let y equals to this makcik, like Alia said here, so I simplify this equation by remove the positive 7 to the left side, it become minus, and 6 move to the left, it become over, so x becomes subject, y minus 7 over by 6. Yes, sama, the same answer like Alia. Okay, congratulations Alia. Okay, I hope you guys, everyone, understand the process. But this is not the end of answer. We must make a conclusion, therefore. Therefore, normally after when we make a conclusion, we change our y become x, right? So now, the same process also copy here. We need to copy the same process untuk this question. So, the difference is, instead of we write the F inverse, we just write the Fx. There's no inverse, okay? So, just replacing the y with x, so it become like this. Normal again, from the given F inverse. So, we make a conclusion, Fx equals to this makcik y, tukar jadi pakcik x balik, tolak 7 per 6. That's all, right? That is how we find the F normal. We just inverse the inverse function. Okay, that's why I told you MX semudah ABC. Alright, makan nasi lagi susah pada MX ni. Okay, sepatutnya lah korang macam tu. Okay, so that's the 4A. Now look at the 4B. Okay, 4B, F inverse given. Okay, 2 minus x over by 5. Okay, so we want to find the normal F. As usual, just let y. Let y equals to 2 minus x over by 5. Okay, 2 minus x over by 5. And this 5, we bring to the left side, it becomes times. So it becomes 5y equals to 2 minus x. Now you see here, this is the most important part. Please be careful. We want x become a subject, and when x become the subject, x must be alone, single. There's no number in front of x or any huruf other than x, and also that x must, since our x here is negative, so this negative x move to the left side, and this number move to the right side. Okay, so it will become x equals to 2 tolak 5y. Therefore, the fx equals to 2 tolak 5x. Okay, so kita dapat our second. Now, guys, the last question, number 4C. Okay, 4C, you are the question give us a fraction, both top and bottom got x. Okay, please be careful. F inverse x equals 3, this one, 3x over by x minus 3. Now, as usual, we want to find the F normal. We just let we just let y, okay? Let y equals to makcik ini tadi, and we simplify the equation so that it becomes expansion. So xy minus 3y equals to 3x. And we got x on the left and also 3x on the right side. So regroup. So the 3x on the right side move to the left and negative 3y we move to the right. It will become like this. Okay? It will become like this. X on the left, X on the right. This thing, I move to the left. This negative 3y, I move to the right. So now what we can see here, X and S are repeated. Both. There's a two X here and X here. So according to chapter 2, according to chapter 3, chapter 2, chapter 4, that we already learned chapter 4, any huruf that repeated or any number that are repeated, we need to factorize. And also, because we want x become subject, that's why we need to factorize that x. Okay, so we factorize x here, so it becomes y minus 3 equals to 3y, and x equals to 3y over by y minus 3, and we make a conclusion, fx equals to 3x over by x minus 3. That will be the end. Okay, this is the end. So the answer Alia dapat, they are equivalent. If I put the negative on my 3x here, if I put negative on the top, I also must put the negative at my denominator. So the negative at the denominator will be negative x plus 3. Same value like Alia show us now. Okay, so don't worry. Even though your answer is negative, if your answer similar like what Alia show us here, your answer also correct. My answer like this because I let my x positive. Okay, I let my value x is a positive answer. Okay, so guys, ada soalan nak tanya untuk number 4. Sekejap ada soalan nak tanya nombor 4 semua? Alright. So, yes, okay, yeah, Alia, okay, right. So, I hope you guys okay, faham for question number 4. Now we are end of the set practice 1.10, which is question number 5. Okay. So, and then question dah masuk, intensive. Alright. So, question number 5, Question number 5. Okay, tak ada soalan. Teacher Mia have a question. Okay, Mia. Alright, Mia, what's your question, Mia? Please write down your question here so we can go through together. We can discuss together with the with friends. Okay. Alright. Oh, dah tak ada lah. Terus tak ada. Terus delete. Okay, tak apa. Alright. So now let's proceed to number 5. If you have a problem, you may write your problem in the live chat here. Okay. Kalau malu, jangan malu. Kalau malu, jangan malu. Tulis je. Salah tak apa. We discuss together. Kita belajar sama-sama. This is what we call learning. Okay. So number 5. Alright, number 5. Given the inverse G is defined as G inverse 4 over by 2 minus X, where X cannot equal K. Yeah, you see that. X cannot equal K. I suka soalan ni. I suka sangat. Because the 5A, find the value of K. We already did this 5A before when we learned in class in February. Back to February. Okay. Semua orang ingat ke tak? Ni baru bulan berapa? Alright. So let's do number 5. So the G inverse is given by 4 over by 2 minus X, where X cannot equal K. Right? The first soalan, find K. Alright. So now, tak nampak. The G inverse given 4 over 2 minus X, where the X cannot equal K. What is this mean? What is the meaning of this thing? X cannot equal K. Okay, every time, if you look properly, our soalan, you look from question number 1, 2, 3, 4, If you look at your question, every time we have a function in terms of fraction, a fraction function, kita ada pecahan dekat our function, dia always state like this, which x cannot equal to something, x cannot equal to whatever number. Kenapa ada syarat-syarat macam tu? Why they mention this one? Okay guys, revise balik what we already learned in February, back to February. I told you, this condition very important because if I replace the value k, the actual value of k, let's say k equals to 1, let's say, I put into this equation, so this function become malfunction. Senang nak cerita. Malfunction means math error. Okay, so that's why they have a condition here. So if you look again on question number 1, that have a fraction function like 1b, 1c, 1DEF, every soalan itu ada function, ada fraction, right? There is also a syarat there, cannot equal 1, cannot equal to 0, cannot equal to 8, 6, etc., etc. How to get that number? And then, why so important that number? Because when you substitute that number into the function, that function becoming a number over by 0. A number over by 0, you press your calculator will be showing you math error. That's the reason. Actually, we got answer, but your calculator cannot compute the answer. The answer is infinite answer. That's why I call that math error. Okay? So now, how to find huruf K? That means, I told you tadi, a number divided by 0. Over by 0. That means over by 0, your denominator become a 0. So, to find the value k here, take your denominator and you let equals to 0. So, since our denominator is 2 minus x, we just let equal to 0. Now, tell me how much your x. Okay? 2 minus x, we let equal to 0. So, our x equals to what? Okay, guys? And we are not talking about x, we are talking about k, right? That's why, kalau anda lihat dekat sini, Kaushalya sudah dapat final answer dia. After Kaushalya get the answer x equals to 2, she made a conclusion k equals to 2. Okay? So, this is how we solve the problem. Okay? After we get x equals to 2, we must make a conclusion k equals to 2. That's all. 1 marks only for this question. Okay. Congratulations guys. So, ramai faham kat sini. Bagus. 5A settled. Now, look at 5B. So, untuk 5B, find the G half. A G half. This one. Okay. So, now, this is G half. Okay, this is G inverse. Same or not? They are different, right? This is normal function of G. This is inverse function of G. They are different. But I told you, if you want to solve the problem that have a value inside the bracket like this, go back to what is the definition of inverse function. I told you, inverse function is about reversal function, reversal. So, it can be to and fro. Boleh pergi balik, kiri kanan, whatever. So now, what we need to do is G bracket 1 over 2, we just let equals to something. We just let equals to, let's say, I let equals to x. Okay? So, I want to find half here. I want to find this value, G half, right? G 1 over 2. So, I just let equals to x. There's two ways to solve the problem for B, actually. Number 1, you find it's a long way. Okay? The long way is if you revert, if you look at our previous video, okay, we already show you is the long way to find the value here. Okay, how? We got G inverse, right? So what we need to do is we need to inverse the G inverse here so that we get the normal G, and then we substitute the 1 over 2 into that normal G, then we get the final answer. That is a long way. But you still need to know how to solve. You still need to know how to do that method. Okay, very important. Even though there's a long way, but we also have the shortcut. I tahu semua nak shortcut je. Korang ni memang Okay, so now G 1/2 equals to X. I let equals to X. Now I told you G can to and fro, right? Well, if I remove G to the left, to the right side, it will become what? The 1/2 remain on the same spot, but G becoming, tada, jadi apa? Jadi inverse X. So we already skip half of the method. This is shortcut. Okay, please make sure you understand the shortcut. If you want to do the long way, go ahead, no problem. We are living in free country. Okay, go ahead, boleh, tak ada masalah. But for those yang minat untuk shortcut, also need to know the long way. Bukan because of the shortcut, so you can not concerned about you're not concerned to solve the problem by using the long way. You must know also how to use the long way. Okay, so now G inverse is given here. So cut and paste, very straightforward. So 1/2 sama dengan G inverse actually equals to 4/2 minus X here. Okay, 1/2 equals to 4/2 minus X. Now guys, okay, since this is a final question for 1.10, now tell me how much your X here. You need to do the cross product, right? Okay, so tell me how much the answer. X equals to what? I dot. You guys need to do yourself. You guys need to fill in all the dot here, the method. So I just want to know the final answer. Okay, tell me what's the answer. Okay, Kaushalia 96, Shira 96, Shohan also 96. So I assume that is the answer, negative 6. The answer is negative 6. Done. Okay, Roshini also get the same answer. Mana Farah ni? Wakil 4N ni? Farah tak ada ke dia ponteng malam ni? Farah ni. Okay. Shizian, okay, 96. Siapa sweating? Mana sweating ni? Sweating ada kan tadi? Mana pergi dia? Sudah hilang dah. Okay. So, alright. So, that will be the question exercise self practice 1.10. Okay, guys. So, let's proceed to intensive practice 1.3. I know that we short of time now, but I still want to discuss intensive practice 1.3, okay? Because we need to finish this 1.3 tonight. So that on our next class, it will be, soalan apa ni? Yes, enrichment exercise, okay? Latihan pengukuhan kita. Yang banyak gambar otak tu. Okay, gambar otak tu yang kita kena bincang. Okay, otak tu. Okay, because that is a hot question. KBAT. I suka soalan macam tu. Okay, you must prepare everything. Okay, you must prepare everything for MS. When you study whatever subject other than MS, let's say you study physics, you study chemistry, you study biology, you need to study triple effort for MS. Okay, always remember that. Okay, the queen of science is MS. So now look at the intensive practice 1.3. Okay, so settle 1.10. So intensive practice 1.3. All right. Okay, so now 1.10 we done already. This is now intensive 1.3. Okay, this is the last topic for tonight. Right? We try to finish it. Ada berapa soalan ni? Okay, this all about for inverse function. Semua ni tentang inverse saja, so don't worry. It's not the revision for the whole chapter, but focus more on inverse only. Alright, so look at the soalan here. We got 8 question. Kita ada 8 soalan. Mana KBAT ni? Tak ada ke? Oh, ada KBAT. Number 7 KBAT. Number 8 also KBAT. Sebab I nampak gambar, number 8 tu ada gambar. So I assume that KBAT question lah. Okay, so tak kisahlah. I rasa senang saja semua ni. Okay, tak apa. We go to one by one. Okay guys, question number 1. Okay, question number 1 more to, okay, this is we already discussed number 1 back to our previous video, the idea about inverse function. Okay, the basic idea. So in the diagram, okay, the arrow diagram below, okay, showing the function f maps onto y, and the function g maps y into z. Okay, determine the f2, g5, blah blah blah, whatever. All right. So let me draw the diagram below. Okay, the arrow diagram given, there's a two arrow diagram here. 2, 5, and 8. Okay, the connection X, Y, and Z. And okay, the arrow. Okay, guys. This is the diagram shown by the question. Oh, sengit sorry. So abaikan sengit ni, tak kisahlah cantik ke tak, as long korang dapat idea. Okay, now guys. So you see here, okay, from the diagram we can make our conclusion here. We can make a sum of conclusion here. Okay, so you see here, this is the function f and this is the function g. What is given here? The function fx maps onto y, and the function g, y maps onto z here. So that's why the arrow, that you see the arrow here. So that means 2 is the object of f, and 5 becoming the image of f. Okay, becoming the image of 2. Sorry. Now, what we can conclude here for this side. This is 5, right? 5 is the object of G. So, the image of G, the image of 5 for the function G is equals to 8. That is the definition of arrow here. Okay, sekejap, ada soalan ni. Syria. Okay, Syria. Sorry teacher, kenapa Syria? Dania Kamil, okay, Dania F2 equals to 5. Okay, Daniel, what's that? Soalan yang mana tu? Oh, you mean the first question Alright, I tak tengok lagi soalan. Okay, now. So, most of you sudah dapat jawapan kan kat sini. Okay, bagus So, this one we go through verbally saja. Alright. So, kat sini, I give answer. Okay, good. So, you guys, look at the F2. We are talking about F2. So, F2, what's the answer? 5. Very straightforward. So A, answer dia 5. How about B? G5. Okay, how about G5? Tell me. G5. G5 equals to what? G bracket 5. 5 is the object of G. So when we substitute to G, what will be the answer? Okay guys, berapa jawapan dia? G5 equals to? Yes, equals to 8. Roshini, Dania, everyone. Syuhan also. Syria sudah dapat. Okay. G5 equals to 8. Senang. G apa tu? Oh, GF2. That means they are component. That means I need to read the back function first. That means F2. The F2 equals to 5. And then 5 insert. So the answer is 8. But donkey is inverse function. Okay, inverse function. Okay, so donkey is an inverse function. So guys, tell me what is the answer for donkey? F inverse 5. Look here carefully. This is the arrow showing the normal F, normal G. When we talk about inverse, the direction will be inverted direction. Okay, so I draw with the different color. So okay, that's why you need to draw. Okay, from 2 to 5, this is a normal F, but from 5 to 2, it becomes F inverse. It also goes to here for G. From 2 to 8, from 5 to 8 is a normal G function, but when we revert G to 5 is a G inverse. Okay, now the soalan is F inverse 5. F inverse 5. So the arrow showing the answer is 2. Okay, Roshini sudah dapat 2, Syuhan. Yes, correct. Syria so sudah dapat jawapan dia, donkey equals to 2. Very straightforward. Now, how about E? G inverse 8. G inverse 8 here. G inverse 8. Look at the arrow. The G inverse 8 going to what? What number here? What is the answer here? Equals to what? Equals to 5. So G inverse 8 equals to 5. That is the answer for E. Okay, E equals to 5. Okay, Syuhab sudah dapat, Sian, okay, Daniel also sudah dapat, and etc. Dania juga. Okay, good for you. And the last one, F inverse G inverse 8. F inverse G inverse bracket 8, we need to read the back function first. That means the G inverse 8. Look at here. The G inverse 8 equals to 5 and the F inverse 5 equals to 2. So the answer for dot F, Finland, equals to 2. Betul. Bagus, guys. Okay, Syuha sudah dapat dan okay, congratulations guys. That means you sudah betul-betul understand all about basic inverse function. Not only you can simplify equation, but also you can read from the diagram. Okay, congratulations. That is question number 1. Intensive practice 1.3, number 1. Okay, Kim Yuji. Siapa ni? Kim Yuji. Farah mana? I tak nampak lagi jawapan dia. Hari tu je rajin bantah jawapan ni, tak rajin pula dia. Mesti dia konten kelas. Alright, so let's look at question number 2. Question number 2 here, okay, what we have for number 2, connection is unstable, alamak. Okay, okay, sudah ada. Alright, good. So now, okay, for number 2, okay, now by using the line, okay, by using the horizontal line test, determine whether the function is every function given here has the inverse or not. This one, back to the previous video, the previous class, we learned how to draw the horizontal line. You must remember, you need to know how to differentiate between the horizontal line test with the vertical line test. Let me repeat again, for one more times. Vertical line test, if we want to determine the function exists or not. But if we use horizontal line test, if we want to determine the inverse function exists or not. You must remember that. Okay? So, to determine both of them, there's only one syarat, which is only one point can be intersect between the curve given or the straight line given with the line test, with the test line. Touch or intersect only one point on the graph function, that means the function is exists. It also goes to the, what we call that, F inverse, okay? We want to check whether the function given graph, the function graph given have the inverse or not. So we just draw the horizontal line. Wherever you want, doesn't matter. As long it intersect with the graph. Okay, if the intersection on the graph, let's say we got a curving graph and we draw the straight line like this, horizontal, and it touch at one point, intersect at one point. That means the F inverse is exist. But you need to check one more time. Try to draw one more line, the horizontal line at the curve yang ada macam curving shape. So when you draw curving shape with a straight line, so it will be intersect at two different points. That means the inverse does not exist. Okay, so please be careful. Alright. Okay, Syah, apa ni? My parents calling me for marathon. Okay, so tak ada marathon dekat sini. Okay, so guys, that will be the idea. Okay, so now if you look number 2, so this one more to verbal saja. Number 2A, the graph given is a cubic graph, like a S graph. And if we draw a horizontal line, all the horizontal line only touch at one point, right? only touch at one point on the graph. So that means number 2A, yes. The answer exists, yes, because there is one-to-one function. The result is one-to-one function. Okay, number 2B. Number 2B is a reciprocal graph. Reciprocal. Okay, reciprocal means they didn't touch the y-axis and also didn't touch the x-axis graph. Okay, that's the name of the graph is reciprocal. Okay, so when we draw the horizontal line, that horizontal line only touch at one point each of the graph, right? So each of the curve only have one point of intersect with the line of the horizontal. So that means we can conclude here is 2B also yes. The inverse is exists. But question 2C, that's what I call a cubic. The 2C is also another cubic graph, but they have what we call it? They have a curve here and curve at the bottom here. If you draw wherever line of horizontal on that graph, it will be touched at least 2 points, right? It will be intersect at least two different points. So therefore, on the top, it will be touched two different points, but in the middle, it will touch 1, 2, 3, 3 points. That means if the point of intersect more than one, that means the inverse is not exist. So number 2C, jawapan dia no. Okay, jawapan dia no. Alright, so very straightforward. Okay, so I rasa macam tak sempat malam ni, okay, because it's already 10:05. Okay, so let we finish our soalan until number 3 at least, Okay, until number 3. Alright, so now, number 3. Okay, the diagram below show the graph by the function one-to-one. The below graph is a function one-to-one function. That means one-to-one function, that means this all graph have inverse. We can make a conclusion like that because the soalan already mentioned one-to-one function. Okay, so every case here we need to sketch the graph of f inverse. Seterusnya, hence we need to identify the domain of f inverse. Okay, let's do number 3 as our final exercise for tonight. Okay, so number 3A. Number 2 I dah bincang verbally saja. Number 3 we draw. Okay, number 3A, the graph given here is like this. Berapa ni? This is function f. The point here is 4, 2. Okay, guys. Number 4A, number 3A, Number 3A, the final question, 3A, this is the graph. This is the one-to-one function have inverse. Okay, that's the conclusion we can make. Okay, now the soalan asking us is to draw the inverse function of this, to draw the f inverse. Okay, to draw the inverse function for this function f. So to draw this the f inverse, if you still remember, I told you the third way to find the inverse function graph, we need to draw the line y equals to x. So we just draw the line y equals to x here. Okay, so we just draw the line y equals to x. This is line y equals to x. Don't forget to label. Please label the line. Okay, so the line y equals to x will be act as the cermin. So this graph you need to reflect. It will turn like this. So this point now, what is the coordinate for this point? Okay, guys, tell me now. So the original point is 4, 2. This point, what will be the point here? The red color here. Okay, guys, tell me. If you guys understand, maksudnya korang mesti tahu the answer. Okay, what's the point of the red color? Okay, so this is a 4, 2. So this point should be how much? Okay, that is the way to find the inverse function graph. inverse. Okay, to find the domain, okay, now guys, to find the domain of F inverse, you must remember, if you look back in our previous video, our previous class, okay, I already show you how to find the domain and the range of F inverse. The domain of F inverse actually equals to the range of function F. Okay, so the domain of F inverse actually equals to the range, the range of Fx. Right? So they are equivalent. Domain F inverse equals to range of Fx. So we can make a conclusion. Domain must have open and closed curly bracket. So even though they are F inverse, so the open and closed curly bracket, don't forget, what is the number here? Okay. So what we can make a conclusion, what we can do here is, okay, alright, so sekarang ada rakan-rakan bagi jawapan ni, 24, 24, 24. Yes, correct. This is the answer 24 here. Okay, the coordinate just terbalik sahaja. Good for you. Okay guys, now we are not talking about this one, but we are talking about the domain of F inverse. The domain of F inverse actually equals to range of Fx. Range of Fx stand for the coordinate of minimum and the maximum y of normal function. This is your normal function, right? Okay, Kim UG 24 cikgu. Yes, correct, Kim UG. Okay, Dania also 24. Yes, correct, Dania. Okay, now how we find the domain of F inverse? So range equals to the range of Fx. The range of Fx actually stand for the coordinate of y for the normal function. Okay, for the normal function here. So look at your normal function. The least value of y here is 0, right? 0, 0, the coordinate, so 0. The maximum value of y on the top here is what? 2, right? So that is your range of function f. That is your answer for domain F inverse. So now, what's the answer here? 0 until 2, right? 0 until 2. So to write down the domain, okay, to write down the domain, we can write it down like this, from 0 dash 2. To make this, the law of domain, codomain, whatever, and the answer from 0 until 2. So you must write down until 2. Or what we can do is, kalau you guys tak suka jawapan macam ni, you guys boleh write like this, okay? From 0 okay, we also can write down like this. 0 less than equal F inverse X less than equal to, don't forget the open and close curly bracket. So, yang korang suka, alright? That is 3A. Now, 3B. Okay, let's draw for 3B. 3B, the diagram is like this. Okay, 4 and 2. The function f. Okay, guys. So, this one very straightforward. No curving, but it's a straight line. Like this is a straight line. 4, 2, function f. So, we want to draw the f inverse function. So, make sure you draw the line y equals to x first. That is the chart to determine the graph of f inverse. You must have the y equals to x line. Kalau you guys forgot to write down the y equals to x line, that means your answer will be wrong. Okay, so be careful. This one sangat mudah. Alamak, connection unstable lagi. Okay, alright, dah balik. Okay, this is the original value 2 and 4 for normal function. When we talk about reversal, when we talk about the inverse function, that means we need to reverse the value, right? Reverse the value. So now, this is 4, this is 2, right? So when it reflects towards the y equals to x, what will happen? Okay. Alright, so now, you see here, this is 2 on the x-axis, inverse. Okay, look here. Korang mesti sudah semudah ABC. Okay. It will turn like this. Abaikan sebab bengkok tu Yang putus-putusnya cantik dah. Yang bengkok pula. Okay. This is 2. They are reflected. This is 4. Reflected to 4. Okay. Nampak tak garisan dia? Okay. Memang kita panggil congruent. Congruent. Okay. I tak ingat dah. You learn that congruent things. Okay. So 2 and 2. Because the original is 2 and 4, the red color. So you want to draw the also must have on the x-axis. Same thing, and then just connect these 2 and 4. Then, tada, you get your reflection of the graph F. So the black color we call F inverse. That's all. So, but the soalan asking the domain, right? The domain of the F inverse. So the domain F inverse X will be, okay? So I told you the domain of F inverse actually equals to what? The range of normal F. What is mean by range? Range stand for the range of Fx. You must refer to coordinate y function. The lowest of the value here is 0. The highest value is 4. The of F inverse is from 0 until 4. So you can write down your answer 0-4. Don't forget open and close curly like this. Open square bracket and close square bracket 0 to 4 and open and close curly. Ataupun tak suka makcik ni, tak ada masalah. Free country, right? Boleh guna cara lain, iaitu 0 less than F inverse X less than equal 4. Okay? So 0 less than equal F inverse X less than equals to 4. Settle. That is question number 3B. And our final question for today will be question C. Okay, draw kejap soalan C. Okay, soalan C is no longer straight line but a curve. Okay, a curve. Y, X. The point is 4, 8. 4, 8. Alright, guys. So, guys, this is the final question. Alright. So, you see here, soalan C, you are given the, this one. Okay. 4, 8, 4, 8, the graph. Okay, reciprocal graph. This is not reciprocal. This is more to quadratic graph, quadratic. Okay, quadratic. Exponent graph, okay, exponential graph. Okay, exponential graph. All right, so this is a normal function graph. Now, how to find the inverse function graph? So that's why I told you, you need to draw the line y equals to x. Again. Okay, label y equals to x. Okay. So now guys, this is the line of y equals to x. This is your normal function f. Now what will happen, it will be reflect against the y equals to x. So it will turn to become, okay, it will become like this. Now, tell me, okay, so this is your graph of f inverse, the black color, okay? So I just labeling as f inverse. Okay, so now, someone can tell me what's the point of the arrow here. Okay, I just put the arrow to this point. So tell me what's the point of that arrow. Okay, of that this thing. Okay, this point here. Okay. Okay, so guys, what's the answer? What's the coordinates? Okay. So now after we draw the line of f inverse, so what we need to find here is the domain of f inverse. So therefore the domain f inverse x equals to the range of fx. When we talk about range of fx, we need to refer to the original f function, the graph of coordinate y here. Okay, guys, kejap. Masha, Christina, Shuhan, Kim Yuji. Okay. Kim Yuji. Familiar nama ni. Saya tak ingat dah. Oh, ni lah Farah kan? Astaghfirullahaladzim. Farah. Okay. You ni. Okay. So, 8-4 Farah. Okay, everyone. So, Ramesh sudah dapat answer is 8-4 for the that I asking you tadi. So, this point is 8-4. So, no problem at all. So, guys, how to find the domain of F inverse? So, F inverse will be, okay, the domain of F inverse here, the domain of F inverse, you need to refer to the goal line here. The goal line, the y coordinates. It starts from 0 and the maximum is 8, right? The y coordinate of normal function. That's your range of function F. So that will be the answer for domain of F inverse. So you can write down your answer equals to open and close curly, open square bracket 0 until 8, ataupun tak suka tulis macam tu, korang juga boleh tulis F inverse X less than equal 0, less than equal 8. Okay, this one. So the domain of F inverse, you can write down like this, from 0 until 8, open and close curly, don't forget, and open and close square bracket like this. Atau tak suka, you guys boleh tulis macam ini. Settle the question. Okay guys, my intention, I want to discuss until number 8, but since kita sudah extend masa sikit, so I think that will be enough for today. So I hope I will see you guys on the next class. Okay, our next class will be on Friday, I think. So I hope the MCO will be finished by this weekend. So there is no extension date lagi. So but if, okay, let's say if the government cakap extend, we need to extend the MCO, PKP. Okay, kalau Prime Minister kata kena extend, then kita kena belajar the chapter 4 through this online class, okay? Sebab I tak nak kita ketinggalan belakang lah, okay? I hope you guys can attend for my chapter 4, okay? We need to resume our chapter 4 because we already learned chapter 4 half, okay? Sebelum cuti sekolah hari tu, okay? Bulan March, early of the March. So I hope we can continue chapter 4 if the MCO still continue, okay? Alright. So before we end the class, so let me read the live chat sekejap. Okay, teacher. Oh, okay. Kaushalya ada soalan. Yes, Kaushalya. What's your question, Kaushalya? Okay. Alright. Okay, welcome guys. So guys, you guys yang sudah faham, you guys can dismiss. Okay. Those yang ada masalah, okay, Kaushalya, you have a problem, so you can. Okay, is the graph for 3A correct? Okay, so where is the 3A? 3A. Okay, this is the 3A, right? Okay, so that's a question. Is the graph for 3A correct? Okay, this is your 3A. The original graph is the black color, right? 0 until 42. Now we want to find the inverse function graph. That's why we need to draw y equals to x line, and we just reflect the function f so that it becomes the red color here. Okay, so now the point 42 on the top will become 24 at the inverse graph. Okay, so that is the graph, this one. The red color is the reflection graph. Okay, membantu tak Kaushalya? 3A, right? You're asking about 3A, right? So this is a 3A. Okay, this is a 3A. Alright, so guys, I hope you guys tak ada masalah lagi. Kalau if you guys have a problem, even though my video already finished, but you guys can write down your problem or your idea in the comment section later. So, okay, Kaushalya, I got a question. But teacher, how can 2 be there? 2 be there. 2. What you mean by 2? Do you mean the coordinate 2? Okay, Kaushalya. How can the 2 be there? Okay. Now, I think Kaushalya asking is why 2 here? The 2 here, right? Yes, okay, betul. Guys, okay, let me repeat again. How to find the coordinate of as inverse. Okay, let me, okay, before we finish, those yang dah faham, okay, you may dismiss. Okay, yang nak explanation lanjut, okay, let me show you one simple example. Okay, let's say I have a coordinate A, 2, 7. Okay, this is my coordinate A. Okay, Kaushalya and the rest yang tak faham, yang ada soalan yang similar like Kaushalya, this is the normal coordinate A, 2, 7. If I find how to find the inverse point of A, let's say inverse point of A, I put A prime. Okay, A prime as the inverse coordinates of A. Inverse coordinate means inverse function. Okay, is the inverse function. How I find this point here? So very easy. This is normal. This is a standard coordinate 2, 7. When we find the inverse coordinate, A will turn the number. The side will be turned. So now the original is 2, 7. This one will become 7, 2. It will become 7, 2. That is your inverse coordinate. Okay, that's how we find the inverse coordinate. Just shift the numbers. Okay, the numbers. This is xy. Now when we talk about inverse, it become yx. That's all. Okay, Kaushalya, did the example help you? Okay, so I think she mean the 0.24 should be drawn higher than the 4.2. No, I see. Actually the 4.2, okay. The 4.2. Oh, okay guys. Yeah, now I nampak the original, the actual, what we call it, the things that mentioned by Kaushalya. Actually, I made a mistake here. Nasib baik someone remind me. That's why I told you, you need to show me where the mistake. Okay, so actually this is the 4.2. Thank you, Shuhan. Nasib baik Shuhan cakap. Okay, let's do the number 3 again. Actually, number 3A, nasib baik we double check the point. Okay, the 3A should be like this. This is the point. The wrong is because my drawing. Okay, my drawing is wrong here. That's why we got the wrong answer. The original drawing should be like this. It's a linear graph. Okay, linear like this. And then what we need to do is we just draw the line y equals to x. Okay, this is y equals to x. Betul. Okay, tadi I buat y equals to x inside the curve, the original f. That's why we got the wrong answer. Okay, thanks for everyone yang double check. Nanti I will leave the comment inside the comment untuk betulkan balik my video. Okay, so those yang dah tengok, yang dah sign out ni, so you boleh tengok balik. Okay, so what will happen? It will become like this. Kaushalya, is that correct? Kaushalya, this one, right? This is what you mean, right? The original linear graph, but when we reflect towards the y equals to x, it will become exponential graph like this. Okay, is that correct, Shuhan? Or the rest of the guys yang ada lagi ni, yang malu-malu ni nak respond? Okay, hopefully you guys semua faham, Okay, so this will be your the point still remain the same thing, 2, 4, just terbalikkan the 4, 2, but this one, okay. So don't forget to label. Okay, this is the original, the fx. Then we reflect, it become 2, 4, and this is the f inverse. Okay, look at the location of f inverse. Please check with this. This one is incorrect because I make a mistake by drawing this line. This one should be linear graph. I terbuat dia tinggi, so I tak perasan dia tinggi sangat. So I terus buat bawah, the y equals x underneath of that graph. That's why I got this answer. So actually, if the soalan is betul, so that one will be betul lah, the curve. So this is the actual answer for 3A. Please double check. Okay, I will make an amendment on my video. I will put the message on my video later. Okay, so you guys, you may read again this video. So this will be the end. All right. So this will be what we call it. This will be the end of the class. So I will see you guys on the Friday night. Okay, Friday night I think. Okay, so Friday night will be continue number 4 to number 8 and plus with the soalan pengukuhan gambar otak-otak yang